Hi, my name is Arnell Nonit.
Action.
Marcia here.
Never felt so high and low at the same time.
My name is
Same right. A rainbow with no pot of gold. It just don't seem to end right. Honestly, I believe that
My name is
I have to be the one to teach you. Like a puzzle piece, it's naturally. Shouldn't have to shape and mold you.
Hi, my name is
I need is someone who gives like me. 'Cause I can't give.
I created the dinner table with the intention to open up a dialogue about how multidimensional Black women are.
We are multifaceted. We are not just this one single image.
A lot of times when we watch reality shows, all we see are women turning into these monsters when they sit down to have dinner together, but that's not true. We created the dinner table to show that Black women are multidimensional, we are wonderful, and we are fearfully made. And most importantly, when we sit down to break bread together, we can uplift and inspire each other.
And once I get there, I think I'll inspire some lovely young ladies.
A lot of the monologues that you will see were modeled after confessionals, so you're able to not only see the women at the table engaging in just intellectual and inspiring conversation, but you're also getting into the real lives of real Black women to see that we're not just one stereotype. We're not just one type of girl. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce you to our dinner table. Have a seat.
I think one thing that would help, even though it may not happen as soon as we want it to happen, would be if we got more Black women in media, or someone who was, not to say, I don't want to use the word empathetic, but like just has knowledge of our everyday existence outside of one box.
Somebody like me, I want to watch someone doing something different. Like someone else that's in this documentary, she's an African-American K-pop singer. You don't see that often.
Being a Black woman and being into K-pop is already a weird thing within itself. Being a Black woman and singing in Korean and wanting to know how to speak in Korean, that's probably even weirder.
Struggled with that, like whole being a part of this like alternative punk rock scene, and like going to all these concerts and like, you know, people being shocked like, who's this Black girl? Oh my gosh, she's got dreadlocks and she listens to, you know, Forever Against Kids. Oh my god. I realize that people are often shocked when I like these other things, and it's just like, well, I'm not shocked that I like these damn things, and I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna dance and listen to my George Michael and my Elton John. Not feeling like you gotta explain yourself. Yeah, like I have to explain myself.
I want Black girls everywhere to know that they can do whatever they want as long as they work hard and they believe in their own talent.
To understand that if doors are closed, we can create one for ourselves, and we can do that perfectly without anyone's help, really.
I'm extremely self-sufficient. Like that's the goal. If anyone can't make it happen for me, at the end of the day, I have no one to blame for myself, because my job is to figure out how to get it done. So that's like down to paying for studio sessions, that's down to recording, that's down to coming up with video concepts and costumes for videos, and just like making things happen. And how I accomplish that, I guess it would just be like I'm very driven and I'm very determined. For a while, it was a thing of like a lot of hands in the pot, and of course that makes a flavorful soup, but sometimes you just want to step back and mess up for yourself. So I think that that's also a big part of my story, is that I've made a lot of mistakes and I'm still learning and I'm still growing, but the more confident I become in what I'm doing, the more successful I'm becoming, only because I'm doing things my way and getting people to see my vision as opposed to taking on everybody else's vision.
I want to be a interior designer on HGTV.
my show. It's going to be called Designing with Danny. Before I came to school and I would say I'm doing mathematics and interior design, it was always, oh my god, math? And I'm just like, and interior design. And then when I dropped it, everyone was just like, bruh, you're not gonna go anywhere, which was kind of discouraging. And as I continued in my major, I realized how people don't really have an understanding of what architecture is, what interior design is, and the big role that we play in everyday life.
Everyone else has like so many different things that they want for you and so many different visions that it's hard to embody all of that, as opposed to just saying, okay, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to get it done.
I want to be an architect and an interior designer, so I'll be extremely credible. And then I have a YouTube channel where I do random little craft stuff that just display the skills that I'm learning. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make flowers out of tissue paper. Hi guys, so today's video will be on turbans, and in time I'll be able to have my own show. I don't know how I'll get there, but that's where I want to go.
If I don't know how I'm gonna get it done, I say this is what I want to do. Now who can I trust to make this happen? So yesterday we shot the music video for Part-Time Lover. My creative director and I started brainstorming on like what's the next step. So we know we have to bring visuals. We planned for 2 weeks, and in that 2 weeks I went and I had to go fabric shopping. I had to get my hands on a sewing machine because it was like too short notice to like hire a designer. I sketched out a design of what I wanted the costume to be like, and so conceptually we wanted to do Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines meets The Great Gatsby. We asked 2 of my best friends, Isaac and Isaiah Clark, to be our male models for the video because they're twins. So it actually turned out amazing. Of course, the day of the shoot, everybody was late, but I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna be dramatic about it, you know? Everybody was late, but we got there, we made it happen. We shot the video in about 4 hours, which was a super short time in comparison to what we did for Fall of a Hero, which was a 16-hour shoot. And it came out amazing.
I found out there was a competition in New York called the New York K-Pop Festival, held at NYU's Skirball Center. So I entered, and I met some awesome people. It was really amazing experience, and I won first place. From there was a voting period where people would vote for me whether or not they wanted me to represent the USA at the K-Pop World Festival. I just want to say thank you for those who have voted so far and those who have been sharing. By God's grace, I made it through. A month later, I was flying to Korea. Hi everyone, I'm in Korea. Wow. Sometimes I think about it now and I'm like, was this a dream? It was so cool. I met people from all over the world. We all share the same interests and we're all there for the same reason, and it was just so amazing. And winning first place was the cherry on top of the cake.
If you see someone accomplishing something, you know, that should motivate you to then accomplish something. You shouldn't have any, you know, animosity towards them for accomplishing something. One thing that I really want to stress is the importance, it's imperative, the importance of Black women encouraging each other, uplifting each other, helping each other.
What we need to be focused on is unity within the Black female community, because there's so many fractions inside of the community, like people, competition, you know, trying to get that one Black man that likes the Black girls, or hating them because just all the stress in the world. But like, it's like when we come into these environments that are purely Eurocentric and just like starkly not our community, we have to find some type of like unity. I think that's the only thing we really need to worry about.
Uplift each other.
Yeah, and like accepting each other for like, okay, so she talked like, and she ain't together like you, whatever, she can still be your homie. Or exactly. so she ratchet, she can still be your homie. She can still be your homie.
Black, African, or African American, or Black in general, I think it's very important for us to inspire each other
I literally would be here for an hour if I explained how influential and how much Black women had a strong hand in not only inspiring me, but also giving me opportunities and helping me to see the opportunities that were out there.
I'm successful, or when I'm like where I want to be, I want to like have internships with people all the time, because I mean, why not help other people get to where you are? You were one of them once, you know?
I founded lovingcolors.com late 2011, just not really seriously. I was after my experience at the Venice Biennale, where I had worked briefly as an exhibitions manager for a very important art gallery. Loving Colors aims to inspire people from all over the world and help African art position itself on the global map. I want to inspire upcoming artists, upcoming creatives, upcoming business people, upcoming entrepreneurs, because the future is very important. It's very important for Africa, and I would want us to learn from each other. I want them to inspire me, and I want to inspire them in the way that I can.
I own an inspiration-based website called Musings of Craft. It has led me to meet amazing people. It has led me to interview amazing people, and then something that's really weird, people have been starting to interview me, and I always feel, you know, a little, I guess, weird when people interview me, because, you know, I'm the one who's always doing the interviewing. But, you know, aside from that, I've been featured on Teen Vogue numerous times as the best dressed reader of the day, reader look of the day. I've been featured in their ad promotions.
Another big opportunity that I had was modeling for 17 magazine, and that was from a beauty editor who was actually leaving that magazine. But she saw me at a high school journalism workshop, and she said, "Do you want to model?" And I was like, "Yeah." When I worked with them my last 2 years of high school, I did some in-person events with them, but they also listed my blog in their magazine in the contributor section, and it literally launched my following.
I decided I was going to grow up and, you know, be a journalist and be someone who they can look up to. And understand that it doesn't matter where you come from, you know, you can do anything you want to do. I've come across a lot of smart African American women who never had anyone to encourage them. They just know what they know, and they don't think that they can break out of that mold.
Just think spreading the word of loving yourself and being comfortable with what you want to do and doing what you want to do. You don't have to be a big shot big, and I think that's enough. My mother's a great human being, and she inspires me.
Exactly.
And she's not no big shot nothing.
She's a big shot mama.
She's a big shot mama. She birthed me. That's what enough.
She wins.
But she's a teacher, and she doesn't earn the most money in the world, but she inspires me just because she's a great person.
I was going to a Kanye West concert, and I got the assignment from a high school journalism workshop that I was in, that we had to write an article. We had a woman come speak, a music journalist, who spoke about her career and what she's done and how she got there. And I went up to her after, and I'm like, "I want to do what you do." And I actually am trying to get an interview with Kanye West. I called him, I'm waiting for his publicist to call me back. And she didn't laugh at me, and she didn't shut my dream down, but what she did was suggest a different approach, and she helped me to perfect that approach. And so not only did she reach out to an established publicist in the industry that she works with in her professional life, but she also included me on all the emails so that I could see the process, the outreach, the follow-up, everything that happened in order to make that interview come to fruition. And I literally took those lessons and used that for every interview I did after that. And my first celebrity interviews was with Chris Brown. Almost 10 years later, 8 years later now. I am still a journalist, and I cover general assignment pieces. I cover politics. I cover news. I work for WNBC. I won an Emmy. So I could just literally, like I said, go on and on. Telling stories about how Black women helped me and influenced me, inspired me.
and I just want to say thank you.
My influences are very close to home. My mother is the most hardworking woman in the world.
My mom, she's such a prayer warrior. Everything is, you know, damn, what do you want to eat today? I don't know. All right, let's go pray about it. I'm just like, it's just food. We can just figure out what to cook. No, damn, we need to pray about it, because what if what we're eating is probably what someone else needs to eat? I'm like, who cares about anyone else? We need to eat. But that's just how she is. We have to pray about everything. Let things go. Don't hold on to it. Let go and let God. I feel like there's so many well-rounded females in my life that it just makes me so happy. So happy. Oh,
that was Valerie was our health teacher, life skills, whatever that was supposed to be, in 9th grade teacher. And yeah, she is a very influential Black woman in our lives, especially when I was growing up and going through high school. And she always there.
I was having like trouble with school, like trying to figure out where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. And when I finally graduated and got my associate's degree as a veterinary technician, I didn't feel like I had anything and that it was really worth anything, because it's just a 2-year degree. But after talking to her and like, I don't know, she just made me feel so much better. She's like, you are worth something.
Miss Sargent was the 8th grade English teacher, and that year she was putting together this literary arts festival. It was made clear that every year the literary arts festival was made strictly for some 7th graders, but mostly to highlight the 8th graders as like their leaving presentation. And so Miss Sargent actually sought me out and asked me to be a part of it. And so I was the only 6th grader in that show. I have absolutely no idea what made that happen. What twisted the earth made her say, we want you. I was very, very much a to myself kind of like quiet kid. I know that I had taken to Miss Sargent because she was just such like a beautiful woman, and I'm fascinated by beautiful people. But I don't know if it was a conversation that we had where maybe there was like a stroke of brilliance. I'm not sure. I just know that she like walked into my class and asked for me, and I was thrilled.
There has been many African American women that have helped me, but my first internship was with Root TV, and her name is Liberty White. She is so amazing. Like I feel like crying because she helped me so much. She helped me gain confidence. You know, I was a shy young girl.
I actually have a professor here at my school, and her name, Kavise knows her, but she's my advisor for English, and she's also Africana. Her name's Laura Harris, and she's absolutely amazing. She marches to the beat of her own drum. I'm really inspired by her because she always speaks her mind, and she's never not been, she's like always consistent with who she is, and proud and confident, and I would just really love one day to be in that same position. And I have my religion teacher. She's that activist kind of person, you know. Who cares if that's a man's job? I'm still gonna do it. And I'm the kind of, I don't like confrontation. I don't like conflict. But she has taught me how to be politely disrespectful. How to stand up for myself without disrespecting people in the room, I should say. She's taught me how to be who I am and not apologize for who I am. Finally, the person who is in charge of all of this.
Can we please talk about our sister girl, Asha? When did we meet her? How many years ago?
We met Asha in 2006 in
2006 in 9th grade.
2011.
And this girl has been president of our grade.
Of the school?
President of the school. She ran several fashion shows. She got our grade to come together and do all sorts of events and support all sorts of causes.
Fashion designer, she's a photographer, she does cinema, like, she does so much. And I'm just like, why are you doing all this? She makes cupcakes. I don't know how to make cupcakes.
Internships, jobs.
Word.
Like, I'm scrolling down Facebook and I'm seeing her Twitter handle attached to an article, and I'm like,
Yeah, just watch
Like,
them.
I will never forget when she was giving her speech to be president of the school, and she was saying that how she loves being a leader, and that she's realized in her time at the school that being a leader doesn't mean that you need to be the face of it. You don't need to be that figure in front, and that she's okay with leading from behind and making sure no one's left behind. And in that moment, it hit me that, like, sister girl is something, you know?
Something.
It inspires me so much. She's only, what, 21? And she's done so much in her life.
She's so young, making all these moves. I'm always proud to see. Like, whenever I see her name somewhere, or I see an Instagram picture, I was like,
My friends are constantly telling me how I inspire them, but little do they know, they're actually the ones that inspire me. When I scroll down my newsfeed, or when we start that text conversation, they update me on their life and all the different projects they're working on. I'm always so excited, and I'm always their biggest fans, and I'm always their #1 pushers to say, you can do it, and I'm always so excited to see the final product. And it's just amazing to see what happens when you surround yourself with positive people, and you surround yourself with people that are going places and doing things and that aren't afraid to be themselves. And that's why the dinner table is so important, because we sit amongst people who are like ourselves, and even though we vary in personality and career ambitions, one thing that we have in common is that we embrace who we are. Not just as women, but as leaders. I love to say the phrase that it's only at the top, but I just want everyone watching this to know that it doesn't have to be that way. Bring your friends up as you make your way up, and when you get to where you want to be, it can be a celebration of everyone's success, and things actually turn out better that way. Where would we be if we just selfishly climbed this road of just, I have to do me, I have to do me, I have to be the greatest? You know, it doesn't make any sense. Climb this road of competition. We don't have to climb the mountain of competition. We can lift our sisters up as we get there. So if you're watching this, I hope you're inspired, empowered, and I hope that you sit at a dinner table one day and you debunk, unify, and inspire.
It's what you created. Hey, somebody hit the light so we can live the life the way they made it. Somebody needs to know if you feel allow me to see it. I was made to believe something's wrong with me, but no, I won't believe what you are feeding me. Yeah, I see the light through the darkness. They will not like you regardless. Everyone's a pigment. In a bigger picture, you are not alone. They don't like me either. I can see it clear, but we must stay together.